All right, looks like we are live. Hi everyone, I'm Sona Gasparian and today I'm going to be doing a live makeup tutorial. I am in downtown LA, so we've got good lighting. I'm in front of a huge window and I'm going to do a weekend glow makeup tutorial using all Bobbi Brown products. We have a few surprises here, like discount codes, and we have the Bobbi Brown team here answering questions. So if you have any questions, make sure to leave them in the chat below, and we'll get started in a few. But first, I want to know where everyone is from. Where are you joining from? I have my coffee here. I've got my cold brew, and I'm just enjoying this while I get ready. So it's just session. We're just going to hang out, do makeup, talk all about makeup. And if you have any questions at all, like I said, leave it in the chat box. So I'll be looking at that. And then of course we've got the Bobbi Brown team that will also help answer any questions you may have. So, okay, let's get on to the really important and fun part. We have a promo code and it's SONALive15. So if you want to shop the products that I'm going to be using today, you can use that and save some money. And then we also have a consultations happening. So after this, if you want a personal consultation, the Bobbi Brown team can provide that in the description box. You can click on it and get personal, have your personal questions answered and maybe help with any of the products. But it's a really fun feature that you can sort of talk to someone and get exactly what you need out of it, which is really, really special because sometimes online shopping can be a little hard. So having a person behind the screen sort of helping you with that decision making, I think it's really special. So anyway, wanted to get those out of the way before we get started. But yeah, keep the comments coming. I want to know where you guys are from. And again, I will be reading the comments, but I'm just going to go ahead and start. So the first product that I'm going to start with is the Bobbi Brown Extra Bare Glow. This is the Illuminating Moisture Balm. And what I love about this is that you can use this all over, sort of like a primer, or you can use this more of like a pinpoint just to give you glow kind of in certain areas. Personally, I like to apply this just kind of on the outer corners and then a little bit on my chin because that's where I like a little bit of highlighting. So I'm just gonna go ahead and use my fingers for this actually. And you can also use a kabuki brush, but I find that using my fingers just like really warms up the product and just works really well. Also, it smells so good. It's really, really nice. And then I'm just gonna apply this, like I said, on the high points of my cheeks, kind of on the sides of my forehead, a little bit on the chin, where you would typically highlight. Oops, I got some on my mouth. This is my second time doing a live with Bobbi Brown. I think it's super fun because it's so interactive, and this is the opportunity to just ask questions and, be a part of it. And then the next product that I'm going to use is this Bobbi Brown Nude Finish Tinted Moisturizer, and this is cool because it has SPF 15 already. The shade that I like to use is light to medium, and this is another product that I love using with my fingers or with the Bobbi Brown brush because this also just helps. It's a little bit faster, I guess, with this, and it does blend into your skin a little bit better, I would say. So it depends on if I have a clean one on hand or what the situation is, but I usually don't mind just using my fingers because a lot of times I'm just like in a rush. I need to get out of the house. So I just put a little bit and then spread it. And then if I need to, I'll go back to my brush and kind of blend it in place. I have a little mirror next to me too. This shade works so well for me too. I mean, it's like once it's blended, it's really nice. And a little bit goes a long way. So usually I like to apply this kind of all over and then take it down to my neck a little bit too. And then if I have any problem areas that I need to conceal, I'll just do that with a concealer and sort of pinpoint conceal. But this is so lightweight and skin-like that I just love using this, especially on days where I want kind of like that no makeup look. It just really, really looks like skin. Doesn't it just look so pretty on the skin? It just blends so effortlessly. This is definitely one of my favorite tinted moisturizers. It's so good. So I don't even need to blend the edges with a kabuki brush because it just, like I said, blends like butter. But if you need to, you can just sort of apply a little more with the kabuki brush, or maybe blend out any of the shine you want out of the larger pores. So I love this so much. So these two go hand in hand together. I love using it together. Like, look at that. It just gives you such a beautiful glow where you need to have more of a dewy finish, and then it just gives you this beautiful, soft, skin-like complexion everywhere else. These two is just so good. And then next, I'm going to go ahead and use a little bit of color. Actually, you know what? I'm going to do concealer first. I'm going to do concealer because I feel like my under eyes need just a little love. And the concealer, I've been using these for so long, and I love these two shades. Typically, if I'm in a rush, I'll just use one shade, but today I'm going to show you how I like to use two shades. This is the Instant Full Cover Concealer. And, you know, if you have dark circles, I highly recommend using a corrector first. So if you can visibly see sort of, you know, purple, blue undertones, I would use like a peachy corrector. Bobbi Brown has one of the best correctors. Just use a little bit and like blend it on the, especially around where you have the darkness, and then go in with this because it makes such a difference. It really cancels out that blue purpley tone, and then it really preps it for the concealer. So I don't really have dark circles yet, at least. So I'm just gonna go in with these, and these cover so well for me. So first I'm gonna go in with the shade Neutral or Natural, and this one's a little bit darker, so I like to apply this kind of on the center, right on the center. And then what I like to do is apply a lighter shade, which is why I like to have two. And this one is in the shade Ivory. And this I like to apply on the inner corners, just like this. Trying to see if I can also read comments. And then I'm just gonna go ahead and apply a little bit of this on the outer corner. So you see how I'm sort of highlighting and concealing at the same time? I love doing this because it just looks beautiful, especially in photos. I love doing this. So this just kind of helps pull the eye too. And then for this, I definitely use a brush, and the kabuki brush works really well. So you want to start by blending the darker shade first. And then once that's blended, then you want to move on to blending the lighter shade, because it almost just makes the lighter one just a little bit more, I don't know, it just blends it a little bit because first you do the darker one, and then in the inner corners. And if you need to, you can also use like a smaller brush. This one is really good too. This one's the Full Cover Touch-Up brush, and you can just also use this to really get into the inner corners. Sometimes it's really hard to do that with your fingers or with a big kabuki brush. I always like to also apply a little bit of this on top too, because it almost acts like a primer, you know, for your eyeshadow, but does not look so lifted and just flawless. I love this. So again, I'm just gonna go ahead and blend this first and then go in. This concealer is so beautiful because it gives you a medium to full coverage, but it's so buildable that I always like to start very small and then apply a very small amount and then build it up if I need to. That's the best way to apply any product on the skin, I feel, because it just really, again, looks like skin. It doesn't look forced. It doesn't look like there's so much packed on, you know? So I am happy with this amount of coverage, especially with the look that I'm going for. But if you needed to conceal a little bit more in certain areas, you could totally do that. The one thing that I'm seeing is a little blemish here. So I'm just gonna apply a tiny bit there. And maybe around here. I always break out around here for some reason. So I always like to just pinpoint conceal. And do you see how little I apply? I mean, a little bit of this product goes a long way. There's a question about how do you get the most out of a base, especially for the eyes, increasing the longevity of the of it without looking too greasy or cakey. Oh, wow, the Bobbi Brown team is on it. They're answering all the questions, which is great. I think priming is really nice because you do kind of prep and prime the eyelids and get it ready for eyeshadows. So I would do that. And then another thing I like to do is, you know, what I'm going to do today is I'm going to do cream and then powder on top. That really seals the deal, I feel, for me, and it just does not move. So that's like one big tip that I would give, but I'm going to show you, so stay tuned. Okay, so the next product that I'm going to use is this cream blush. This one is so beautiful. It's in the shade Fresh Melon 24. And this is another product that I like using with my fingers. So this is almost like a sheer kind of creamy formula. So I just apply just a tiny bit on the apples of my cheeks and then sort of blend it. It just gives you such a beautiful sort of flushy kind of spring summer look. So just blend a little bit, and then I'm going to set this with a more powder product, which is also another tip. If you want your makeup to last, always layer. I love layering creams and powders together. Just gives you a natural finish, but it also locks it in sort of so that it stays put. So next I'm going to use this product. This is the highlighting powder in Sunset Glow. I've used this so many times. I had to actually clean it because it was so messy because of how much I've used it. It's so pretty. So this one I like using with a fluffy brush. So this is technically a product that you can use as blush or highlight depending on your skin tone. This shade, like I said, Sunset Glow, works beautiful as a blush for me, especially layered with something like that. So just getting a generous amount with a big fluffy brush and then sort of smiling and popping it just on the apples of the cheeks and taking it up. And like, do you see that glow it adds? It's so, so pretty. And it almost like kind of minimizes the pores a little bit just because of the fact that it's powder. It does have a fine shimmers, I guess, so it's more of a glow versus shimmer. So I just love doing that. Do you see that? Oh, I love that. So then I'm going to do the same thing here, apples of the cheeks, and then blend it upwards. So it almost just adds a little bit of highlight as well. And when I do this, I don't need to apply highlighter because I feel like it just kind of overwhelms it if I do too much. But again, if you have any questions, the consultation that they have for the Weekend Glow collection is so cool. Make sure to take advantage of that because you can ask questions, be specific to your skin type, skin color. So it's really nice. Okay, let's see. What else do I have here? I have the eyes, but I want to make sure. I want to do actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do a little bit of lip balm first because my lips are starting to dry a little bit. This one is the Bobbi Brown Extra Lip Tint in Bare Pink. I want to say, did I use this on my last live? No, I used this in a video. It's so pretty. So anyway, I'm just going to apply this as more of a base because I think I'm going to use a gloss later. But how pretty is that? It's so, so pretty. Gives you kind of like your lips but better. I love that. Okay, so I'm gonna let that sit because it just feels so good. I'm gonna move on to the eyes. I have quite a few products here and I'm just like, I'm gonna make this simple, I promise, because I wanna make it so that you can just do this on yourself in like 10 minutes, you know? So I'm going to start with the Longwear Cream Shadow Sticks. These have been my favorites for such a long time. I've had so many different shades. I've used them in tutorials many times, but this one's in the shade Gold Pink. And this is a beautiful shade for highlighting the inner corners, I feel. And then you can also use it kind of on the center. But these are so creamy and easy to use. I love that you can use this again with your fingers or you can use it with a brush. I'm just applying and sort of blending it with the product. And it's a very like sort of forgiving formula because it's cream and you can blend it. And then I have 3 shades here. And then the next shade that I'm going to use is called Cinnamon. Actually, there's another one I really like. Let's see. This one's Golden Bronze. I think I'm gonna use cinnamon first and then golden bronze. So cinnamon, and Bobbi Brown sent me a new batch, by the way. So thanks, Bobbi Brown team, for sending these to me because mine are very used and very old. So I'm just gonna apply this kind of like a liner. So just like that. And then I'm gonna use a brush. This one is the eyeshadow brush. And I'm just going to sort of blend it upwards and create almost like a cat eye effect. But I want to keep this natural, so I'm not going to apply any more. I'm just sort of applying and blending. It is such a stunning shade. And then you can blend it into that lighter shade. And I'm going to use this mirror so that's a little bit closer. You can just blend it into that lighter shade, just like that. And if you need to build, you can go back because these are beautiful and buildable, just like that. This is my favorite technique just because it sort of lifts the eye, and I'll show you in a minute what a difference it makes when you do this. And it's really precise too. I don't know if you guys can notice, but I'm just using this directly. I'm not using like an angled brush or anything. It can get really precise if you use just the tip of it and then blend it with a clean brush. And if it gets messy like this, you just want to use your fingers and just gently kind of clean that out a little bit. Just like that. And I'm gonna just look straight into the camera so you can see what a difference it makes in lifting the eye. I feel like this effect just looks beautiful. And one tip I would give is when you're creating a cat eye, try to aim it where your brow ends, because that's when you'll pull it up a little bit and give it that sort of lifted effect. So I love doing this. And these sticks just make it so easy to do that with. So I'm just gonna do the same thing on this eye before I use the other shade. This is such a beautiful shade. My gosh, it's like perfect. And the name is actually very appropriate because it totally does remind me of cinnamon. Blend, blend, blend. How much time do you guys spend on your makeup every day? I mean, mine definitely varies, but for the most part, I'm always like, I'm on the go. I need to quickly do it and get out of the house. Even if I'm home doing Zoom calls and things, I try to keep it super, super quick and easy. So I feel like this Weekend Glow collection is perfect for that. It's just so easy to use and so effortless. So I'm just gonna do a little check to make sure that it's even. And I'm mixing the Weekend Glow collection with obviously some of my other favorite products from Bobbi Brown. So, okay, the next color is Golden Bronze. This is beautiful. And let's see. Okay. So then I'm going to use this. Sorry, I'm like trying to also look at comments, and I'm really bad at trying to multitask clearly. Okay, so I'm just applying this kind of on the lids and then just blending it with my fingers quickly. Not a lot, just a little bit. So what's cool about this shade is it has a little bit of a cool tone to it, so it kind of balances the warm and cool together. So honestly, I think this looks so good. I don't even want to use the eyeshadow palette, but I was planning on using the eyeshadow palette as well. But I'll just kind of show you guys if I were to make this last even longer, even though these are already long lasting, so you're not gonna have a problem with that. But if you want to kind of set it in place, you could just use a powdered eyeshadow over it. This is a beautiful palette. I've used this on my channel before. It's the Luxe Metal Rose eyeshadow palette, and it has these gorgeous tones, which I think is just stunning for spring and summer and even fall because of the deeper shades. But yeah, if I wanted to set it, I'd probably use Pink Blossom. This one's probably my favorite shade from the palette. And you just, I don't know, kind of apply it. I feel like it just makes it a little more three-dimensional too, you know? So you can just lightly apply this sort of on the outer corners and bringing into the center a little bit. Just adds a nice little pink hue to it. Perfect. I'm always going back to clean brushes and sort of blending. I always say, even if you think you're done blending, just blend a tiny bit more because it makes such a difference. Okay, I think I'm good with the eyes because I want this to be very natural and skin-like. And if I apply any more, I think I'm going to lose that effect. So next I'm going to apply a little bit of mascara. This one is the Smoky Eye Mascara. This is not a new one, so it's a little messy. Sorry about that. But I love this so much. I've used this a ton. It's such a nice one. And I actually love the size of it. It's so little, but you get a lot of product in it, so that's nice. I'm just going to apply several layers just on top. And I noticed that with this mascara, I don't get as much like running mascara look, you know. I always get that for some reason. And one thing I did recently is I stopped applying mascara on my bottom lashes because I feel like no matter what I was doing, it was always ending up on my under eyes. So I just kind of skipped that, and I actually like the look a little bit more. It's more natural. So I'm just applying this a few times, a few layers. I think I'm going to go back to my closer brush or mirror. Just like that. What a difference it makes. Doesn't it just lift the eyes so nicely? I'm just going to use another few layers on this eye. Such a quick and easy look. I feel like this is definitely something you can wear during the day to work and then kind of go out to dinner with it. It just is so pretty. I feel like the lip balm just looks really pretty with everything because it ties really well with the blush and the eyeshadow. But there is a gloss that I've been eyeing, so I think I'm just going to pop a little bit of this on. I just want to see if there's anything I can read. Okay, so from the sticks, I used cinnamon on the outer corners to create more of a cat eye, and then I used golden pink on the inner corners. See how bright that makes it look? It just really opens up the eye, which is also nice because it has a little bit of shimmer. And then I also used golden bronze kind of on the center, and with adding a little bit of that pink blossom shade, it just made it a little bit more, again, like three-dimensional almost, because there's a lot of beautiful shades happening when you like move your head around, you know. And then just applied a few layers of mascara. Okay, so for the gloss, this is the crushed oil infused gloss, and the shade is called Free Spirit. It's more of like a brownie nude. It almost also has like a little bit of peach. So it's really, really pretty, and I'm just gonna layer it. These literally feel like butter. They are so soft, not sticky at all. I mean, if you're a gloss person, but you don't like that feeling of like a sticky gloss, you're gonna love these because you don't get any of that. It's literally like butter. It's so nice. And I always like to go up a little bit on my Cupid's bow. Do you see how it just kind of adds a little bit of that highlight? It makes such a beautiful highlight when you go a little over there. Yeah, this formula is so nice. I love it. And they have so many different shades, by the way. Everything I used obviously comes in so many other shades. So definitely check out the website so you can see all the different shades, ask your questions. If you're going to shop, don't forget to use Sona Live 15 again so you can save some money. There's a promo code happening for this live, so make sure to take advantage of that. Everything I mentioned, by the way, will be in the description box below, so also check that for reference. We'll have shades, we'll have discount codes, we'll have the consultation information, which is really, really cool. So yeah, make sure to check that. Leave questions again. We'll hang out for a little bit more, and answer any questions, but I'm going to come closer too so you can see the final look. It just looks so natural. Like it just blends beautifully everywhere. The color is just stunning. The glow is just perfect. You know, it's not too much, it's not too little. If you need to set your skin, you know, if you've got oily skin and you're like, I need to set it, otherwise I feel like I tend to shine throughout the day, I always recommend setting just like around the larger pores and then maybe the center of your skin. But I highly recommend leaving everything else the way it is, because there's something so beautiful about your skin having a little bit of that natural shine. So I would say just maybe a little bit of powder on the larger pores and the center of your face, and leaving everything else the way it is. I didn't even need to do that today because I feel like the powder just kind of did it for me. Do I need a little more color? I feel like I can always use more blush. I also like applying a little bit of this on my nose, by the way. I just think it's really pretty. Cinnamon is more of a matte color. I can swatch these actually so you can see. These are, I'm telling you, they're so good. I'm going to just swatch it here. So this is cinnamon. It is a warm, sort of a medium tone brown, I would say, medium to dark. But on the eyes, it looks so natural because it's so blendable. It's very, very creamy, but then look how easy it is to blend. Once you blend it, it starts to get a little bit lighter. So that's the true color of cinnamon. It's matte, creamy, and once it sets, it doesn't move. It's long wearing, so it's great. And then I can just swatch all three of them so you can see it. This is a really unique color, golden bronze, which is so interesting because it has, again, it has more of like a cool undertone, and this one does have shimmer. So I'm gonna blend this as well so you can kind of see it. Oh, you see that shine? So pretty. And then lastly, the inner corner shade that I used, golden pink. This one also has shimmer, but it's not intense shimmer. See on the eyes, it looks so natural. I feel like I could use a little more here. Just here. And then sometimes I also like applying this, like I said, on the center too, and take it all the way up. So when you blink, it just gives it that very romantic sort of glow. Do you see that? So pretty. It really depends on how much time I have to play with makeup. But anywho, that is the shade, and I'm gonna blend it as well. I mean, honestly, their entire shade collection is just stunning. So take a look at all of them, but this one's my favorite. It's so pretty. It's very unique, you know? So love that one. I would say if you can add that to your collection, you'll use it a lot because it's such a universal brown. You can use it pretty much all year round because it's just the most beautiful warm brown. All right, I'm just going through the questions, but I think Bobbi Brown, the Bobbi Brown team is on it, answering all your questions. This was so much fun. Do you guys have any other questions? We'll hang out for a little bit more before we end the live. So if you have any other questions, leave them. Anything that I did technique-wise or product-wise, any benefits you want me to go over again with any of them. How about I give you guys my absolute like favorites if you want like a 5 to 10 minute everyday quick, like I need to do my makeup quickly and leave. I'm gonna just do that real fast. I would say definitely this duo is so cool, and if you don't have time and you don't want to do the priming, you can just do this one, but together, oh, look at that. It's so pretty. I love this collection. I also love that it's got SPF 15, like I said, just a little extra. I always apply my SPF 40 or 50 before anyway, but this is so nice to have just like a little bit of extra SPF, so that's really nice. I would say that, of course, a concealer. I feel like we could all use a little bit of concealer because even if you don't need to conceal, it's really nice to highlight with it too, because it just like highlights the eyes, lifts it. It just makes such a difference. So I would say definitely pick up the concealer. And this is such a beautiful formula, medium to full coverage. Just no, it doesn't crease. Like, it's just such a beautiful formula. I love this. I would say definitely, oh man, this is hard to like pick between the two because I love both of them. But I just think layered together is so beautiful. So you can't go wrong with either one of these. I would say if you're a gloss person, definitely try this formula. It's so, so nice. And then blush, I mean, this one you just can't go wrong with, just because it's almost like blush and highlight all in one. And you don't have to use the cream one. You can also use this just on its own, and it's just as beautiful. So I would say this is really nice because the glow is very unique. You know, the shimmers are so fine. It's very, very skin-like. So I love this a lot. Sometimes, you know how shimmer can be a little overwhelming. This one's super natural. I'll kind of swatch it here too so you can see it. See, it's so skin-like. I love this. Yeah, I feel like those, and then from the sticks, I would say definitely cinnamon's my favorite. Unless you like more of a shimmery shade, then I would pick up some of these shimmer shades as well. Can't live without Bobbi Brown lip balm. It's life-saving. Yay! I know, I love that. It's so good. All right, shall we end this? BB team, let me know if we should end it or if we should stay on a little bit longer and answer more questions. But again, I'm just gonna shout out the discount code. We've got a promo code SONALive15. It'll be in the description box and in the comments in case you need the correct spelling, but it's SONA Live15. And then we have consultations happening on the Bobbi Brown website. So if you guys want to ask a professional a question, you can do that as well. And yeah, virtual consultations are the way to go. See, even the Bobbi Brown team is mentioning that because you have pro artists, you know, answering questions. So I would highly recommend taking advantage of that. It's really fun. All right. Okay, guys, I think we're going to go ahead and end it. And I hope you guys enjoyed hanging out, doing makeup. And yeah, you can still leave comments even after the live is over because I think it's just going to live on the Bobbi Brown YouTube channel. So if you have any other questions later, be sure to leave it down below. Oh my gosh, there's still questions coming in. My hair color is black. Please let me know. Okay, so I would say, again, if you have specific questions like that, the virtual consultation is probably for you. So be sure to take advantage of that. So, all right, I will see you guys later and have an awesome rest of your day. Bye, guys.